Hey YouTube, what's going on out there in YouTube land? How does everybody feel? Thanks for tuning in once again to One Man, One Opinion. That's all you get is right now is One Man, One Opinion. And we will have other guests on the show. I had a few people literally ask me. I made a comment and I believe like my second or third video about almost doing between 5 and 99 years in a penitentiary. And they wanted me to explain my story and explain exactly what happened. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to explain exactly what happened with the situation. I bought a house many years ago. I want to say maybe 10, 11, 12 years ago. And I bought it on a planet called Texas. And when I purchased the house, I purchased it for a lot of money. It was like over like $600,000 I purchased the house for. And when I purchased the house, that's the amount of money that I paid for the house. And I was outside walking my dog one day. And when I was walking my dog one day, it was what do you call those guys? An appraiser. An appraiser came out and he was looking at other houses that were being built in the neighborhood and stuff like that. And this was a really grand house. I mean, the house was really beautiful on the inside. Had a nice pool, acre and a half of land, close to 2 acres. I was sitting pretty. And so I asked the guy, and the guy was building a house next to me that was like 7,000 square feet or something like that. And I asked him, I said, well, how much is that house going for? And he was just like, well, it's only going for 4 something. I was just like, 4 something in this neighborhood? He was just like, yeah. I said, well, I paid 6 something for this house. And he said, well, you need to go back and get your change. So I was a little baffled because I've been in real estate since I was 23. At the time, I was in my 40s back then. If you want to know how old I am, I'm 50. I'm a nifty 50. I turned 50 last year. So I was going through the motions, and I called the title company, and I called also to the mortgage company. I told them that this house is not worth that, you know, and I'm not paying a mortgage on it. And they looked at me like I was crazy. And come to find out that the people who sold me the house, what they did was that they refinanced the house 2 weeks before we were to go to closing. They took $250,000 out of the house. And then they jacked the price back up to $600,000 and sold me the house. Now, living in the DMV, that's DC, Maryland, and Virginia, usually they'll do a title search, and they'll do all that stuff right before you go to closing, like the day before or the week before, or something like that. They don't do it like that down in Texas. And the law is in Texas is that it doesn't matter if you got wrangled into it, if you got strangled into it, it doesn't matter. That's your mortgage. If you signed those papers, if it's a shack and you paid $1 million for it, you got to pay for that shack. That's just the way it is. So, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't do my customary wristwatch check. I have my Seamaster on today. I love this watch, chronograph. It's the best. Anyway, so you still have to pay for that particular, you still have to pay for that particular property. So, I got in, the DA had, you know, they had gave me a call or whatever, or something in the mail to me or whatever. Anyway, I just kind of like disregarded it and just didn't, you know, pay it any attention or whatever, and kind of let it ride from there. And I was up in Washington, D.C. at the time, and I was driving, and I was going to a friend of mine. I was going to her retirement gala or something like that. And the policeman pulled me over for speeding. And of course, I speed. I mean, I like fast cars. So, I mean, I was speeding. So, I can't say I wasn't. So, he was in the right to pull me over. So, he pulled me over. He ran my license. He was just like, do you know that you have a warrant in Texas? I was just like, nah, I don't know that I have a warrant in Texas. What are you talking about? He said, well, you got a warrant. He said, I got to take you in. It's like, what? Man, I'm Creflo Dollar clean. I mean, when I say I'm clean, I'm like cleaner than a board of hill. Suit, tie, got the convertible top back on the car. I'm doing me. You know what I mean? it's not a good day for me to go to jail, you know, but I'm on my way anyway. So anyway, at the time the speed trap was like right around the corner from my house. So now I want to say credit to the police. He was good enough to call his partner on the radio. His partner drove my car back to my house, parked it in front of the house, which was cool. Handcuffed me, threw me in the back of the car, took me to jail. Okay, so I go to jail. I'm in there for 38 days. 38 days. And it's not that I didn't have money to make bail, because I had plenty of money to make bail. Plenty of money to make it. That wasn't the problem. So it's just that Texas wanted to extradite me down there so they could so they can go ahead and have their way with me or whatever. That's why I stay out of them southern ass states, man. That's why I stay out of them southern ass states. And this is going to go longer than 10 minutes, so y'all might want to sit back and grab your popcorn on this one. And if you want to, you can look the shit up in the records if you want. And the reason why I tell you guys the truth on my channel, and when you come here and you get positive and you get motivational information, is because I tell you the truth. There's nobody that's going to run up behind me and say, oh, we know this about you and we know that about you and you didn't tell us this. You ain't going to be able to do that shit to me, because I don't like you enough to have to lie to you. You have to like a person, or you have to want to impress a person to have to lie to them. I don't have to lie to you. Matter of fact, some people who will view my channel, I'll never see you and I don't know you. And you weren't at my bedside when I had like 5 surgeries. So, I mean, you know, I don't have to lie to you. So, here's the kicker on that one. So, I go to court in Maryland. And once I go to court in Maryland, the judge said, if they don't come get you in 5 days, I'll let you go. And I was just like, okay, cool. So 5 days ticking, the 3rd day came. I'm saying, okay, they're not coming. They're going to let me go. 4th day come, they're not coming. They're going to let me go. On the 5th day, 4 o'clock in the morning, they come pick me up. The marshals from Texas came. And they was from Texas. They had the boots and the cowboy hats and all this shit. And I was just like, damn. So I get down there. And this was the year, 2011, that they had the Super Bowl in Dallas. And Jay-Z, Puffy, everybody was having their party right across the street at some big elaborate hotel, but the jail sat across the street. And I was looking out the window and I was seeing the limos come and go and people was partying like a rock star. And I was sick. I wanted to, oh my God, I wanted to vomit. It was terrible. It was just terrible. So anyway, to make a long story short, the district attorney came to me, and she came to me and she said, well, look, let me tell you, this is the offer that we're going to give you, Mr. Bethel. We're going to give you this offer here, and this is the best offer, so you need to take it. So I'm sitting back, I'm looking at her. I'm like, okay, well, what's the offer? The offer is, we'll give you 20 years parole. We'll let you go. You'll pay back the $250,000 that you stole. And you can leave tonight. I looked at her. She looked back at me. She said, what do you think? What do you think? I said, and she was white. She was Caucasian. She was white. And the other district attorney with her, he was white too. I was thinking, and then I told her, I said, fuck you and fuck your offer. I said, because for one, I did not steal anything. For number 2, I was in law enforcement for like 12 years, so I know you have to come with, this is not your best offer anyway, if I was even looking for an offer. And from henceforth, do not come see me again. You'll deal with my attorney from there. And that was a wrap. That was a wrap from there. Now, I was on the phone with my sister back in D.C. She got me an attorney by the name of Daniel Haygood. Daniel Haygood was one of the best attorneys. He's the same one that Michael Irving had. And he was one of the hottest, and still is one of the hottest attorneys in Dallas, Texas. This guy was good. This guy was good. And I'll shorten this out right now. I was fighting this case for 2 years, going back and forth with this whole case. I was going back and forth with it. And on the indictment papers, it says engaging in organized criminal activity. That could be a host of shit. It could be a host of shit. It sounds like some Al Capone, like I had 10 kilos of cocaine in the trunk of my car, a dead white woman, and $1 million in the front seat. That's how the charges looked on paper. And it's so funny because I was over a friend of mine, Chris' house, and I showed her the paperwork. And it said, the United States versus Melvin Anthony Bethea. And when she looked at the paperwork, we both laughed, and we was drinking at the time. She said, God damn, the whole country's mad at you. It says the United States. Damn, what the hell did you do? And I had people flying in from everywhere. You know, saying, you know, I got your bill, what you need, I got this, I got that, don't worry. And I'm telling them it's not a bail issue. So when they finally gave me the bill, my bill was so low, it was like $25,000. And you know how a bill works. Somebody, you put up the house and you pay like $2,500. I had that, so, you know, my sister was taking care of a lot. Without her, man, I don't know if I would have made it through. I had a few friends who wanted to help out, but she was not going for that. She was just like, either I'm gonna do it or they gonna do it. Now, which one who you want to do this for you? So I had to go with my big sister, man, because she been telling me what to do all my life. So why stop now? You know, I got out. Anyway, nevertheless, I went in front of a judge, and I can't think of her name. My God, she was good. Oh man, I can't think of her name. If it comes to me, I'll let you guys know. But anyway, I went in front of her for like 2 years, like back and forth. So on this one particular day, I flew back down to Dallas, and she said to me, Mr. Bethea, today is the day of reckoning. You either have to pick giving a jury trial, or either I'll give you a deferred adjudication. You have to pick either one. And so a deferred adjudication is when they'll defer your case for 5 or 10 years if you don't get in any trouble. It doesn't go on your record, but it'll just say deferred. And so you'll take the deferment. You don't get in any trouble or anything, they'll take it off within that 10-year span, but you have to go see a probation officer, a parole officer, that type of thing when you get back to your state or that state that you're in, you have to see. And if you go to trial, you know how that works out. So I'm sitting in a courtroom, and so she gave me my ultimatum. And so when she gave me the ultimatum, I'm sitting there, I'm talking to my attorney. But while I'm talking to him, I'm looking around the courtroom. And as I look around the courtroom, he says, why aren't you paying attention? Do you know what's on the line? I said, yeah, 5 and 99. I said, them jersey numbers, them football jersey numbers. You dig what I'm saying? And I just saw her give a guy 10 years in jail. And I didn't have 5 or 99 years to give to the state of Texas. I just didn't have it. So with that being said, I told him, I said, I'll take the deferred adjudication. So they did the deferment, and she asked me, she said, Mr. Bethea, why did you defer your case? Why did you take the deferred adjudication? You have a good case. And I told her, I said, because I don't see anybody in this courtroom that looks like my peers. They say you're supposed to be judged by your peers. I don't see anybody in here that looks like my peers at all. I don't see anybody that looks like me. And I said, I don't want to go in front of a whole bunch of people and they say, hey, this slicker came down here from Washington, D.C., and he tried to get us out of our money. And they wound up giving me a football jersey number, 57, 33, 25. Excuse me. I don't have all that type of time to give. I just really don't. So with that being said, I'll take the deferred adjudication. And so we did deferred adjudication. We leave. So we get outside. We're standing. And God, I wish I knew that judge's name. I can't think of her name. She was so good. We're standing out in the hallway. So we know, me and my lawyer, we chopping it up with the rest of the legal team or whatever. And The judge comes out and she hands me her card. And she says, if there's anything that I can ever do for you, you let me know. And I said, okay, I definitely appreciate it, ma'am. Thank you very much. So 2 years into this thing, I get probation. So when I get, and I tell anybody, when you on probation, especially young people, don't go in there with your damn pants hanging off your ass and, you know, a hoodie on and, you know, all braided up. Nigga, go in there clean like you going to church. That's how you go in there. Go in there clean like you going to church. Because one thing I can tell you about parole officers, they make a little bit of money, but them fuckers hold a lot of power. They hold a lot of power over your ass. Trust me, I know. I used to be one. Trust me, I've seen the ins and the outs of it. I worked in corrections for like 12 years. I've been arrested several times. So I understand how the system works. The ins and the outs of it. I understand definitely how it works. But that was the most significant like arrest that I've like ever had. And I just wanted to tell you guys, always be careful of who you do business with. You never know who's on the other side. Check everybody out. And then after you check everybody out, the people that you got to check them out, you check them out. Just to make sure, because you never know. My situation could have went totally in the opposite direction if it wasn't for, if God didn't show me his grace and his mercy. And that's the only reason I got out of that, is because of grace and mercy. I had to turn in all of my guns. I had to turn in all of everything. And it was a difficult situation at the time. And it amazed me. And I watched how all my haters and my competitors came out. And they were just like, yeah, I wonder how he's going to get out of this one. Let's see him weasel his way out of this one. And then when I came back, and instead of speaking to people when they would see me in meetings and different things like that, because I do a lot of work, you know, in government, it was one of these. That's when you don't even speak to them. You just give them a nod and keep it going. So that's my story. Also, too, that'll be in my book, too, along with the mugshot. I had some T-shirts printed up with the with my mugshot on there. You know, people say, why'd you do that? I say, why wouldn't I do it? You know what I mean? I don't have nothing. I'm not ashamed. You know, life happens to everybody. And if you live long enough, life will happen to you too. But yeah, that's my story on that. So a lot of you guys wanted to know about it. And wanted to know exactly what happened or whatever. So yeah, that's pretty much my story. And that's pretty much what happened. But I came out unscathed, no record, no criminal, no nothing. So like I said, you know, God truly blessed me, and he showed me favor in a wake of, you know, some really bad stuff going on at that time. So I appreciate that. I really appreciate that, and I thank him for everything that I do. And every morning when I say my prayers, I let him know that I'm nothing without him. And anyway, that's enough of my time, y'all. I think I did like 18, 19 minutes, man. I usually only try to make my videos like 10 minutes long, because people's attention spans aren't that long no more. They just not. I mean, they just flip, look, keep going. All right, anyway, if you like the video, like and subscribe. Definitely click it. Know that this is One Man, One Opinion. Like I told you, the book is coming out real soon. People are doing a lot of work to get it done. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your energy. Like I said, please subscribe. We're trying to grow this channel. I love y'all. Have a great day. Peace.